It's time for That Was the Woke That Was with Andre Walker.
Hello and welcome to That Was the Woke That Was, the topical quiz show that goes through the wokest stories of the week. And I guarantee absolutely no snowflakes allowed. On my team tonight, I've got Ben, Loughnane and Lacey Butcher and Lizzie, Cundy and the lovely, the beautiful Pete Barnes, Duke of Wigan. First of all, over to you guys. So, Meghan Markle is being sued by her sister for £60,000, claiming her reputation was left in tatters after she spread lies about her on Oprah. Is it true or false?
Well, I think this could be true, but I'm not. I think it could be more than 60,000.
I think I'm surprised it's that little actually. And also, is it not reputational damage just being her sister more than anything else?
Well, that's it.
I mean, it's hard, Lizzie, to know which one of that family's the worst. Isn't it?
Well, it is. But I mean, this sister has been really battered. She totally has blanked her. I know what that's like. Happened to me too.
Sorry, Lizzie. Are you friends with Meghan Markle? You've never mentioned it, Lizzie.
Oh, well, now's the time and place. Yes, I was good friends, best friends, and she ghosted me, like she did with Piers Morgan.
But she is somebody who's just kind of climbed the ladder, hasn't she, and kicked people out of the way. One of the things I've always said, on a serious note, you've always got to be a little bit nervous about people who've got, like, no friends from school, no family connections. I mean, even her mother, when she moved to Windsor, very quickly moved out. It's, you've got to be concerned.
Well,
and she's obviously driven a wedge between William and Harry as well.
And you've got to watch it when you do it to me, because I'm cutthroat cunders, so you've really got to watch it.
That was dodgy then.
I've got to be honest with you. When you said you were a cutthroat Cundy, I thought, there we go.
No, but yeah, you're right. She has, only her mother at the wedding, I think, speaks volumes.
But is there an argument, Pete, for saying that, hang on a second, she is a bit of a pain, but these are all half-siblings from a previous marriage, and actually she probably didn't hang around with them all that much anyway. And actually, they've all taken to the TV. I saw what Piers Morgan said to one of the sisters, where she was claiming that Meghan was a money grabber, and he was like, but you're literally appearing on this show for money.
Yeah, no, and one of the sisters was on Tucker Carlson over in America. So I do kind of agree with you that they are kind of cashing in on this as well, but I do think it says quite a lot about Meghan Markle that, like you said, she's got no long-term friends. No, like I would say, if you've not got a friend from nursery, there's something wrong with you.
So, even Oprah. Oprah didn't invite her to her 69th birthday party, and they were supposed to be besties.
69 with Oprah. Who'd have thought? Anyway, Lacey, so Meghan Markle was somebody who was a very attractive young woman who appeared on TV in order to marry a rich man.
I know where this is going.
Have you got anything that you can add to that perspective?
No, but I actually like my sister, so I think I'm in the clear on this one.
That's the only difference.
I know. Thank you. I just think this whole story is actually somewhat bizarre. I mean, so it's Thomas Markle's... They share the same father, Samantha Markle. And don't get me wrong, I'm fully aware that Samantha and Thomas have both very much been in it for a bit of a cash cow. They've done a lot of things leaking to the press and so on and so forth. But... I think what she said, Samantha, in regards to this case was, she set out to do an empire of destruction. She purposely did all these things on Oprah to destroy her. However, I don't know, I'm sure you've all seen the Netflix, Megflix? Is that what Megflix?
Megflix.
Megflix and chill.
I think,
if anyone chills to that, I'd be horrified.
There's a market for everything, Lacey. Believe me, there's a market for everything.
But I think she was quite... defaming in that more so than the Oprah interview. And let's not forget, the Oprah interview was 2 years ago now. But why is she doing it now?
I just wonder whether the Royal Let's Pay Them Off fund has been depleted in recent years. It's like there's not the money in it that there used to be.
Well, when this story came out, I think the thing that I loved most is that Samantha claimed that she really wanted Meghan to claim that King Charles and Camilla are not racists. And I think that was one of the key things that came out of it. So you can clearly see the allegiance that is there. One thinks that or one thinks the other.
It's funny, actually, that the new cultural export from the United States of America is being obsessed about race in a way they never used to be. But anyway, look, I think we know where we're going here, Lizzie.
I think we know where we're going.
OK, 60 grand, was this an amount that Meghan Markle's sister has attempted to sue her for?
True.
It is absolutely true! That's 1 point. OK. Crowds have been banned from singing Delilah by Tom Jones at Welsh rugby matches due to its lyrics being offensive. Is it true or false?
Well, to be honest, the only lyrics I really know from that song are my, Delilah. But apparently the whole thing is about some sort of guy who goes and kills, you know. But the thing is, you don't listen to a song and then go and do whatever the song tells you to do, because you have this thing called free will. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a fascinating idea. We can hear an idea and then not become it, like, immediately. But I don't think people are going home from Welsh rugby games and just stabbing people. You know?
Well, I mean, I find it extraordinary because all of gangster rap is kind of quite violent, isn't it? I remember my younger brother wanted to do the music for my nephew's christening, and Mum said, we're not having all that effing and blinding. We're not having that. But it's true, though, isn't it? All of these songs have a meaning.
Yeah.
You don't endorse the attitude behind it.
Sir Tom Jones, OBE, actually came out in 2014.
What?
What?
No, he didn't.
I didn't hear about
It
that.
came out. Hold on a minute.
We can't be doing that. That kills the show.
Loads of women are weeping now who threw their knickers at him.
Throw your wife front.
You were waiting for that. He came out in 2014 to say, because this is a recurring conversation. This isn't a new thing. I mean, the song's been out for bloody forever. And these questions have been asked before. However, he said, how do you feel about, you know, when Delilah sung? He simply said, I feel so proud to be a Welshman. You know, they see him as an absolute pinnacle.
Legend, yeah.
He's an absolute legend.
But do you reckon if you paid Tom Jones £1 million, he'd be willing to go through a whole interview and not mention that Elvis said he was the greatest? I'll tell you, Elvis, Tom, we've heard it before. It probably didn't happen anyway.
But did you know Sir Tom can't dance? He can only move his hips. If you watch, he puts his feet like that and just moves his hips like that. He
no,
doesn't actually...
Lizzie, do it.
No, I will if you
Please don't. Keep your legs shut.
He does that.
Oh my God, he actually does.
That's what he does.
But it works.
I taught him. On a more serious note...
You don't get that with Nadine Dorries, do you?
Thank God.
A little bit younger than her, but still working, all in good order. No, but seriously, on a serious note, this song is about domestic abuse. And why can't we talk about domestic abuse? It's like just every evil or anything offends. We can't talk, sing about, you know, is that mean all sort of programmes about anything that might hurt us we can't view anymore?
The song 1963 by New Order is about shooting someone. I mean, I still quite like it. I don't tend to shoot anyone, largely because guns are illegal in Britain.
I think there's one thing that we have to remember, that this comes from the Welsh Rugby Union team kind of getting into a lot of trouble over sexism and racism and misogyny in their own clubhouses and all the rest of it. And this has been their response to it. And I'm like, I'm not being funny, but maybe deal with that problem first,
that's right.
then deal with the song.
People all sat around going, well, I'll tell you what, we're all racist, we're all sexist, we're all homophobe. Ban Delilah. Get rid of Delilah.
But I tell you one thing I absolutely did adore, though, was there was a pub when they played last week that actually had speakers outside blaring this song in the middle of the street, and everybody was singing it as a kind of, do you know what, we're just going to sing the song, ban it all you like, we're going to sing it anyway. And I thought, do you know what, more power to you.
Yeah.
Wales versus Ireland, they were happily singing it in the crowds, and I think absolutely good for you.
Yeah.
And also Sweet Chariot, wasn't that written by a slave? I mean, are we going to ban every track?
Well, actually,
we won't be singing any songs at this rate.
On a serious note, I mean, my family are Irish. I mean, pretty much every song that the Irish sing is a revolutionary in some way. I mean, Kevin Barry's about hanging someone who's 18.
So Sir Tom said, if you're genuinely influenced by a woman cheating on the man and the man getting aggravated by it, it's in the exact same way as Mac the Knife is about...
exactly.
No, we
killing a
can't.
prostitute.
No, we is it?
It is.
Because you only learn this when they try to ban it. You wouldn't have known otherwise. It's only when they bring it up.
It leads me on to singing Land of Hope and Glory, The Last Night of the Proms, and how that was banned.
That was another one,
All this infuriation about things that we now decide are somehow relevant and now offensive. Oh, get over yourself.
Exactly, and from history we learn, so it's mad.
OK, so I'm going to ask you whether it's true or false, but there's also a bonus point here. Right, you know what the bonus point is. Is it true or false that Delilah has been banned?
True. Definitely
It's
true.
absolutely true! Right, come on. We're all going to sing it.
I knew you were going to say that.
We'll just do the chorus. My Delilah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Why, Delilah? Forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take any more. Forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take any more. Is that TikTok?
Well, it could be.
OK, so that song, Welsh Rugby want to ban it on the grounds it's about a murder, even though the person in question's not real.
Separate the art from the artist, I say.
It's a lovely song. Tom Jones is a well-known Welshman, and I think it's been misinterpreted.
My, Delilah.
Why would they ban that?
It's a fictional character, it's a fictional song, it's not about specifically about someone, and they should just let it be.
My, Delilah. Do you think the song Delilah should be banned from Welsh Rugby Stadium?
No.
Why?
No. My,
Delilah. Would you ever throw your knickers at Tom Jones?
If I had the chance.
Now we know it's about domestic violence. Should we ban it, or should we just say Tom Jones is a famous Welsh singer, that's why the Welsh care about the song?
The latter is certainly true.
I personally wouldn't feel comfortable singing it.
Yeah, he does apologise at the end.
Yeah, but you know.
But he's already killed her by that point.
Exactly.
I mean, there's lots of songs that are about violence, aren't there?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
You're going to end up getting that song back.
Ooh. I do a show on talkTV about wokeness, but actually...
Yeah, come back.
Do you feel that this is a cultural attack on Wales simply because it is something that Welsh fans have enjoyed for a long time?
Yes, I do in many ways, especially if it's coming from England.
Oh, come on, that's fighting talk. That's fighting talk. Do you think that our fun is being ruined?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, your mate's kicking off because you're meant to be doing some work, aren't
I'm
you?
his boss.
Oh, my, Delilah.
People do not pay attention. They walk around on their phones or headphones or whatever they're doing, and they don't know what's going on. They just wander.
Do you think people are not responsible for themselves enough nowadays?
Definitely not.
Because like,
Not a chance.
Because like 10 years ago, nobody like you would have protected people like this.
Yes, they did.
Did they?
I've been doing this for 20 years.
Oh.
This is what I've been doing.
Do you think it should be banned in Welsh Rugby?
No.
Do you care what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not really, no.
Should I leave you alone now?
Yeah.
I'll do that, thank you. Don't TikTok me. I've not signed a release form.
Oh, no, this is personal use.
Yeah, but what, just in the evenings when you get home, you're a bit lonely, have a bit of a look at your Uncle Andre. Look at that booty. Look at that booty. Look at that booty. Oh, hang on a second, can I have a bit?
Well, if you want to. Here we go.
Look at what do you think of that?
Beautiful.
My name's Salsa, by the way.
Right, should we do a bit of salsa dancing then? OK, it's now worth pointing out what the prize is in today's competition. I bought, and you'll be able to see it on your screens now, a house in Detroit for £300. It's a 3-bedroom property with a lovely bathroom. Here are the keys. These are a prop. But anyway, so the house only costs £300. It's just off the 8 Mile Road, made famous by the film that Eminem was in. And also the fire brigade wants some money for the fire they recently put out as a result of squatters. Anyway, it's a lovely place, 8 Mile. Anyway, so to Pete and to Lizzie, the Ritz Hotel in London is to offer all 136 5-star rooms to migrants this summer under a controversial new deal agreed with Suella Braverman.
I mean, if it's the Ritz in Mayfair, which I love, I can't believe it for a minute.
No, I don't. I don't think this is right, but I just think it brings up a really good point about how we're housing the asylum seekers and people crossing in the boats. I think that's the real crux of the question.
Tell you what made me laugh. We had all these rules about coming into the country during coronavirus. You know, you've got to be injected this, you've got to get past. All you needed was a dinghy just sailing.
Yeah, I know.
Perfectly tickety-boo.
No, but I mean, it's costing us £6.8 million a day.
Yeah,
it's incredible. But if they stay at the Ritz, it's surely going to go up a lot more than that. Yeah?
6.8 million a day, that's your clothing bill, isn't it?
That's a bar tab.
Well, more like it, yes, you're correct.
Is it true or false?
It's false.
It is absolutely false.
Thank you.
15 points. 15 points. Now you're on minus 336.
I want an extra
knew
point
that
for
was
not
coming.
cheating.
I knew that was coming.
Ben,
We've
you've got to turn it round. You've
my
got to turn
best.
it round here. OK, the RAF's head of recruitment says its diversity drive discriminated against 160 white men and has now resigned.
They discriminated against white men.
Why?
Well, because that's what's been going on for years.
Because-
obviously.
Because obviously being a white man makes you worse at being a fighter pilot.
Because you're the devil. You are the devil, yeah. And you do not deserve a job.
When it comes to the small number of people that stop me being invaded, I'm quite keen to get the best person for the job. I'm honestly not bothered if you staff a whole HR department full of people who diversity choices. Doesn't bother me, right? But I do think the military needs to be protected.
Yeah, I think certain industries, like fashion, for example, where it doesn't matter and we don't all die if it goes wrong, you can have a little bit of that sort of, affirmative action. But for the military, I think, it's not the best idea.
And I think that's the point of this story. I've seen a lot of commentators and journalists talk about this story in these kind of diversity quota ways. For me, this story is about national security. This kind of woke ideology, or whatever you want to call it, has compromised national security as far as I'm concerned, because we already have a shortage in our armed forces. I think it was just the other day the chief of the armed forces came out and said that the state of British armed forces is absolutely dire, and these are the policies that have been put in place. My question is, why has only one person resigned? Because I don't believe that this is just a one-off.
Correct.
I'll tell you what makes me laugh. The British Navy has more admirals than ships.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd normally think I'd have thought you have maybe 5 ships to an admiral. But the other thing is, there are more admirals in procurement than there are ships.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But the army have been brought in for everything, aren't they now? They're just relying on the army. It's so unfair. But, we look at the state of the NHS, spending $8 million on diversity. What a waste of money, I'm sorry. And it's not fair what we're doing to the army. They're just filling in for everything. Ambulance workers, you name it.
I'll tell you what the funny thing is, though. I mean, I feel sorry for the fact that there are people who are striking who are on 40 grand a year and guys who are on 18 grand a year are filling in for them. But the number of people that have said to me that Heathrow Airport's border checks were speeded up considerably when the army came in. Because suddenly, they're not all on tea breaks, they're not lazy, they're not useless, they're not interested in unions, they just do the job.
My boy came through from Tenerife and he literally whizzed through. And
that was my favourite thing over Christmas when the Border Force went on strike. They did all these little vox pops with everybody going through, and you just say, "Oh, it's brilliant!" We just flew right through, and I can just imagine the people of the trade union were just like, "This has gone terrible.
This is not working."
Can you imagine how depressing it must be that you go on strike and the service improves?
I know.
That's almost like me.
Right? They should give them a pay cut, not a pay rise.
It's not doing a Tetris.
It's not working.
I just wonder how many other public sector workers, literally, if they went on strike, it would prove, better.
Well, the government as a whole.
Yeah.
Well,
It's funny that you mentioned the government, though, because this was something that was brought up by Tobias Elwood. It's something that the government has actually done well.
For once.
There we go.
Oh, mooted applause.
But
I do think with all the strikes, and we had Walkout Wednesday, which was horrific, but I think people are really losing support and sympathy with the strikes now. I think really are.
Well, people like the idea in principle.
Effect.
They like the idea in principle, but then when their train is cancelled, they go, those strikes.
So before I do this, I want to ask a bonus question, because we talked about whether the government would be better if there was no government. There was a debate between the Flems and Walloons in Belgium a few years ago, and there was an inability for them to form a government for 18 months. Services in Belgium actually improved. But if you can tell me how the impasse was ended, I'll give you a bonus point.
No idea.
We're on minus anyway.
All the parties got together and went, this looks really bad for us.
No, the wives of all the politicians insisted they would not have sex with their husbands until a coalition deal was done. And the coalition deal was done within 1 week. Unbelievable. So,
Sex sells.
Sex sells, baby.
OK, so the RAF's head of recruitment says its diversity drive has discriminated against 160 white men and has now resigned. Is it true or false?
True.
It is absolutely true!
That was The Woke That Was, continues after the break. Welcome back to That Was The Woke That Was.
A Canadian theatre is celebrating Black History Month in February by banning white people from attending its play. Only people identifying as black will be allowed. Is it true or false?
sadly, I've got a feeling this is true.
Yeah, because it's Canada.
Because it's Canada.
One thing I do find quite funny is the similarity now between these kind of Black Lives Matter protesters and, like, the Klan from the 60s, like how they want segregation, how they they want like their own spaces and all the rest of it. I was like, so many people fought so hard to integrate society, and they've just kind of spat in these people's faces.
But I don't understand why people are worried about race relations in Canada. They've had a black Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau.
At least he can go to the
I was
theatre.
waiting for that, Joe. I was waiting for
No,
that.
but if anywhere else and it was all white, people would be up in arms.
Yeah.
It's just so
Actually, I'm going to throw this out as we get kind of halfway through the show to both team captains, and obviously Ben and Lizzie are welcome to join in. Has this quiz become harder? Because it's really hard to know which of these stories, given they're all ludicrous, are true and which are false.
Oh, yeah, the one thing I find quite funny is when we start to predict things. That's always when something might be false, and then the next thing you know, like in about 2 weeks' time, you're like, oh, right, we might need to go back in the edit.
The amount of times we've discussed things, we're like, well, it could be true.
Yeah.
But the number of times I've seen somebody like Lacey or like Pete say, oh, God, this is false, but I bet it'll become true. And literally, like 3 weeks later, we've gone, yep, here it goes.
But I mean, who would have thought a transgender woman could be going to a woman's jail? I mean, there are so many stories.
Nicola Sturgeon didn't think
Nicola Sturgeon doesn't know what a woman is.
Yeah.
But that's one of her crankiest ideas, isn't it? From
Oh,
Jimmy Cranky.
well done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank you.
I mean, look, everybody's been trying to think of another cranky joke. You've managed to innovate.
Thank you.
OK, so look, do we think that this is something that's trying to help a discriminated community, or is it just straight-out racism?
I think it's what I call a road to hell idea in terms of paved with good intentions. I kind of get that they want to, kind of like celebrate black diversity and all the rest of it. But the way they go about this, you're just rubbing people up the wrong way, and you're in some ways kind of provoking a reaction.
But if we are going to say that we live in a multicultural society and we want everybody to kind of be part of it, then surely you would want somebody like me to go to a play about the history of black people.
That is exactly it, and I'm happy to call it what it is. This is racism. This is exactly what racism is. They are discriminating against a certain ethnic group for the privilege of another ethnic group. That's exactly what it is. But this has come all about through Black History Month, right?
Yes.
So what is Black History Month bar trying to educate or refresh people's ideas about the things that black people have gone through? Surely the prime opportunity would be to invite a white audience to say, hey, guys, look at this. We've gone through this, and look at us now.
Exactly, to educate everyone from every colour, every creed.
I do think it's interesting when you say it's racist, because if you notice what these kind of groups do is they start to redefine words. So racism is no longer discriminating on the basis of a person's colour of their skin. It's also about the power structures. So it allows them to do this. So because what they do is they redefine the word. So they're suddenly like the innocent party in all of it. It allows them to kind of do whatever they want to do, and you're always the bad guy.
But sorry, Lizzie, before you go, I'm going to say something that might be controversial. I genuinely believe that in 1990, socialist economics was discredited with the fall of the Soviet Union. Nobody could go to somewhere like Ceausescu's Romania and say capitalism is a bad idea. And so people who want to smash the system have moved on. And now what they want to do is turn brother against brother by saying everybody's racist. They don't give a toss about ordinary people who've been discriminated against. They want to smash the system. I think it's a disgrace.
I think you're completely right.
I think you're completely right. And as a white female, if you voice out about it thinking it is racist, you feel intimidated and silenced. You can't say it.
Because we're not allowed, because we're white. I mean, God, we probably look like the air of most
I'm a woman.
You're not allowed to say it. But ultimately, racism is a term, and this is a racist thing, because they are discriminating against an ethnic group in the wrong way. This is so unhealthy and unhelpful.
And that's why I disagree with Peter that it's paved with good intentions. I think the intentions are entirely malign. It's about churning up this controversy in the press to get everyone worked up.
If you look at college campuses in America, they have like those days where only black people could go on the campus, and they have graduation ceremonies that are for black people only. So it is this kind of weird enforced segregation that I just think is so toxic. It is so toxic.
But it was like the woman that caused the stir at the palace, wasn't it? She did the domestic abuse charity just for black, for African. So she'd be asking
I just don't understand who this is helpful towards. Who's it helping? It's Black History Month. Get over it.
I'll tell you what it's all about, like it always is. There's a government grant somewhere just waiting to be taken. You see all these independent films that are made, and you're thinking, look, it's just because the Arts Council for England's got too much cash. Come on, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll talk about Rastafarian experiences in Rotherham. There you go. That'll get a couple of quid. Who's going to watch that? Who cares? We'll make a fortune. Arts Council for England grant. Anyway, so has a Canadian theatre celebrated Black History Month by banning people from its plays unless they identify as black?
True.
It is absolutely, unfortunately, true! Lizzie, Pete, you're edging closer to the house in Detroit with 346 points. Nicola Sturgeon has revealed to close friends that she was a woman who took... Sorry, let me just read that again. Nicola Sturgeon has revealed to close friends that she was the woman who took Prince Harry's virginity, as detailed in his new book, True or False?
I really want it to be true, because it would just be so funny.
By the way, I just want to be clear. Nicola Sturgeon has not told close friends she's a woman. She has always claimed to be...
Well, that's my main problem with it. Does she know what a woman is? Because, you know, by
Nicola Sturgeon fully understands what a woman is. A woman is a woman unless they go into prison, in which case they're not a woman, unless a court determines they're a woman. And in any case, a woman is a privilege, not a right.
Yes, yeah, that's very clear.
Spot on.
So has Nicola Sturgeon said to close friends that she was the woman that took Prince Harry's virginity? Is it true or false?
That's false.
False.
It's got to be false.
It is, thank God, false! 863 points. Congratulations.
Oh,
OK, you're now behind with only 58. There's been an arbitrary docking that's taken place.
Hold on a minute.
A man in Singapore has sued a woman for £3 million after she rejected him on a date, claiming she caused him emotional trauma. Is it true or is it false?
Oh, this sounds...
Sorry?
The only thing is about this question, normally you'd go, a woman in America.
Yeah.
And you go,
I think that's what's thrown me,
if it was in
actually, more than
America,
anything.
is anything can happen there? Look at their president. But I don't know about this.
I generally don't know.
It was a Singapore sling.
Yeah.
There we go. It's like working for Bobby Davros.
Yes, Bobby Davros in the house.
Yeah, but I imagine he's some kind of like high-powered CEO or something like that, and he's just like been pursuing this woman for ages, and she's just slapped him down so many times, and he's one of these people with too much money and not enough time on their hands, I imagine.
It sounds a bit bizarre to me.
But I mean, if you are that obsessed with somebody that you've sued them, then presumably they can do you for harassment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a legitimate argument.
Exactly, there has to be a legitimate argument. I can't see this.
I don't know.
Is it true or false?
False.
It is absolutely true! 58 points to you, and you're still on 896.
How did they gain points from that? They got it wrong.
A US fighter jet has shot down a gigantic Chinese spy balloon that's been hovering over the United States for 8 days. Is it true or false?
Well, what I find funny about this is the spy balloon. Everyone was so worried. There's a balloon over America and it's spying on us, while they've all got TikTok on their phone listening to everything going on inside their house.
That's a point that I've always made. Look, I've got this Huawei phone, and I will tell you, it's fantastic. You get free cloud storage in Beijing for life. They keep absolutely every email ever. You can't access it very easily, but that's free cloud storage. I'm well chuffed. Well done,
Shows you
Jim.
your new social credit score every morning. It's brilliant.
Can you
imagine? I mean, I'd be a social discredit.
I tell you the thing I love most about this story is it took obviously 8 days, which is horrific enough for a massive balloon to be flying over. But it was shot down in Montana, I believe, which is not on the coast in any stretch.
No.
Don't look at me like that.
That's right.
It was in Billings, Montana.
No, what they had to do was they went, so they saw it, they saw it coming from China, and then they said, let's get the president to make a decision. And he was like, Mr. President, hello, who am I, where am I? Mr. President, you want to make a decision about a balloon? Yeah, get me some chicken nuggets. What's going on? I mean, do you remember when Joe Biden lost his door? I mean, how'd you lose your door?
He just hasn't got a clue. He thought it was from a birthday
The thing that
party,
really gets
the
me
balloon.
about this was the sheer size of the thing.
Yeah.
The balloon itself was like 200 feet.
Yes.
But underneath, there was like all the apparatus of it. It was about the size of a small propped plane.
Biden doesn't have a clue, does he?
Yeah.
I mean, he looked just totally lost about
I mean,
it.
that's the best thing. They always used to argue about Donald Trump and said that he was giving away secrets to Russians in meetings. Biden can't remember anything.
He can't remember
So
everything.
he's completely...
Even if he tried, it would take so long.
It's like me and my Google password. Don't know what it is anyway. Right, can't give it away.
But,
No, they do have something in his ear saying turn left to walk off stage, and then he goes right because he didn't hear it. It's definitely
That's why he's got an L and a R.
I'll tell you what I thought was quite funny, and it was unrelated to his mental health problems. But when Ronald Reagan left office, apparently every time his car used to stop at traffic lights, he used to open the door and get out. For 8 years, the only time the car stopped was when he was in his journey.
But it's funny about you make
so
mention
sad.
about meetings because this comes on like the kind of the eve that I think is it Bilkin, the Secretary of State. He was supposed to go to Beijing to kind of calm down tensions between China and the United States, and like this is just kind of, for want of a better phrase, exploded the whole of that up. And it's actually it's quite a not a particularly good thing for international relations at the moment.
Gone down like a lead balloon.
Oh, there you go. That was the phrase I was looking for.
That sounds like such a sarcastic round of applause. It's actually a good joke.
Let's speed it up in the edit.
No, Lizzie's doing well.
Thanks,
I think
babe.
she's gone from Davro to Monkhouse.
Thank you very much.
That's a definite improvement.
I like that.
Okay, so
I'm happy with that.
has a US fighter jet shot down a gigantic Chinese spy balloon hovering over the United States? Is it true or false?
True.
It is absolutely true!
That was The Woke That Was, continues after the break. Welcome back to That Was The Woke That Was.
Unattractive people are more likely to keep wearing face masks in the post-COVID world, according to a new study. Pete, are you wearing your
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. But no, I've actually read the report this is based on because somebody sent it to me making that particular joke. But I decided to live amongst the common man the other day and I got on a bus. And I found it, there was this guy on there. And he had...
No, can we just... Can we just stop? Phrases like slumming it with the common man. This isn't the BBC. You can't get away with saying that here.
No, but no, there was this guy who was on the bus, and he was still wearing a face mask. Now I stopped wearing the minute you were allowed to, and he was doing that thing. Do you know where he was making a small rant about nobody else was wearing a face mask, but very loudly so everybody could hear him? And I was like, how much damage has COVID actually done to people that this is how they're now behaving?
Masks, for me, have caused so much mental health issues. And in schools, I mean, we've got a mental health epidemic now from wearing masks. I think it's so sad. But obviously, if you've got a big boil or a spot, people wear a mask.
Well, actually, I will tell you something deadly seriously. My dad said that when it was my mum's funeral, he said, I was like the Queen. Having the mask actually was quite a good thing.
Yeah, I can understand that. But it's funny how they kind of became like the symbol of the kind of like the great divide over COVID about lockdown versus not, of being more open. And like the face mask became the symbol of it. And like you said, the person who confronted you on the train, the way that people were like, you're not wearing your face, you're a bad person. Like it became a moral issue about wearing one. It was really interesting how that happened.
I got fined for not wearing one.
Did you?
Yes, at a petrol station. Some guy came run out and said, you put your mask on.
There's a very nice gentleman in Northern Ireland who was running around petrol station going, you're not wearing a mask, you're not wearing a mask. I thought, yeah, but obesity is a problem as well. And you're 25 stone, pal. I'm not being funny.
Yeah, obesity is the biggest killer.
I've not named him. I've not named him.
No. It was Ken. It wasn't Ken, was it? No, Ken. Yeah, but I mean, we masks for me were the worst things through COVID, and you miss people's smiles. And then for kids now, it's really had a huge effect.
I think it's still quite symbolic that when you see a mask, it's that sense of danger, it's that bit of deja vu going on. So I think if you do have to wear a mask, please don't.
I think the problem was it was the element of public morality. I think the thing that I found really, really strange more than anything else. For a brief period, I was a member of all these community Facebook groups. Don't join them. Don't join them. Right, just drive you bananas. Does anyone know a good local cleaner? No. Right, anyway, but do it yourself, you lazy sod.
How do you get rid of hemorrhoids?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I might start posting inappropriate stuff. But anyway, people were going, I was walking down the street the other day and there were far too many people. Well, you know how to reduce it by one. Go home. I've debated somebody went, I was flying from Belfast to London, and there were lots of people on the plane. Well, you could reduce the passenger number by one. Get off.
Stay off.
But everyone was like, I'm virtuous and you're evil.
I know, exactly. But you know what? Even today, I see people walking in the park with a mask on.
Yeah.
And I think, why? I want to go up to and say, why are you wearing that mask?
But that's what I mean. Now it's just a symbol of fear. So you still see it. It's just, as I say, it's that deja vu. You see it and it's like those flashbacks kind of thing. PTSD, if it's not too deep to say it.
I think they've shown us just how much of a risk-averse society we've become after COVID. Because I always go back to the story of, do you remember when we had those really bad winds because we got the back end of a hurricane?
That was you after breakfast.
That's him after his chicken tikka pie.
But... no, and people are saying, oh, we need to lock down the country again to keep people safe. It's like, we can't keep doing that as like the automatic, where the minute something bad is about to happen, just lock everybody inside. And I think it kind of showed just how like scared we are, like a society we have become.
And we're still living in the lockdown crisis now, and that I blame Rishi a lot for that because he said he didn't agree with it. He came out and he didn't say so at the time.
The problem is though, Ben, right? I think what we forgot during the coronavirus lockdown is that these things have a consequence.
Yeah.
You know, yes, of course you can lock down. Yes, of course that will stop the spread of any disease, whatever it is. But at the same time, when you destroy your economy, you know, there's a recession that's going to come as a result. And I think people are suffering genuine hardship.
But it's the problem with like myopic thinking. You focus on one issue and you don't even factor in all of the things that go wrong if you like attack it. It's like if you had like loads of doors to your house and someone was coming in one, you just left the rest of them unguarded. You run at that door and then people are coming in all the sides. You're going to get stormed in like 30 seconds. You've got to be aware of the fact that there are risks in every direction.
If you were Joe Biden, you'd lose the door. Anyway, so, OK, is it true or false that unattractive people are more likely to keep wearing their face mask post-COVID, according to a new study? Is it true or false?
I think it's true.
True.
It's true.
It is absolutely true! OK, now... Will you be buying Prince Harry's book?
When it's £1.
How long will that take?
Oh, tomorrow.
I mean, it's already half price, but it has been very successful.
I'm not interested.
Have you read Prince Harry's book?
We have not read Prince
No, I've not read Prince.
Why not?
Oh, that's a really good question. I have a question. Why is it half price? That is the real question.
No, they did me over because the full price was £28 and it was half price to 14.
Not enough money as it is.
Oh,
Sickening. Oh, you're better get moving. Have you read Prince Harry's book?
No.
Do you think it's an important book? Are you interested in it?
No.
Do you think it's because he's ginger?
Maybe he is.
Have you bought Prince Harry's book?
No, I'm not intending to either.
Well, hello, everyone. I just want to ask you, have any of you bought Prince Harry's book, and are you interested in the book? He complained because he said his brother got a bigger bed. Now, it's a bit miserable to complain about that, isn't it?
Yes, childish.
Oh, talking about Prince Harry's difficult work, and it's consuming, and you need your protein. So I think this place is the best kebab shop in London. Yum, yum. I'm interviewing people about Prince Harry. Do you have any... Oh, look at that. What kebab do you think Prince Harry would like? This, apparently, is the German Doner Prince Harry kebab. It's beefy, it's spicy, and it's full of garlic. Oh, nightmare. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You want to buy my kebab? No.
The best one.
What do you think of Harry?
I don't know. I'm about to pulp it. It's won this book on the shelf.
Well, how ginger is too ginger?
His variety of ginger is very ginger indeed. But it's not really about the colour of the hair. It's about the quality of what he's saying. And
that's almost like Martin Luther King, isn't it? Will you be buying the book?
I already got the book.
How far into it are you?
Well, my mum bought it. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to spend some... I've been super busy this week, so I haven't had time, had a chance to read it yet. But I absolutely will be reading it. I'm looking forward to reading it. It's in many ways, very similar to my mum's story, because she grew up in a family where she was outcast, rejected, like despair.
Have you read Prince Harry's book?
Not yet.
Why not?
I might read later.
You're live on Channel 4. Do not swear.
Oh my God!
Do you like Prince Harry?
Of course I do.
Do you like Meghan Markle?
Of course I do. I like watching her movie.
She's not in the movie.
I've read part of it. The very first part is very, very poetic, I must say. It's very descriptive.
Did you not think it was a bit vomit-inducing?
A little bit.
Sort of, oh yeah, I was walking around crunching on the floor. I felt like it was almost like it just made me feel in a certain way. When he said he almost walked on Wallace Simpson's head.
That part.
That was rubbish, wasn't it?
No, but I loved it. And it's very, very descriptive and the adjectives are very poetic. I thought it really enticed me to read more. I've got to catch a bus.
Oh, go for it. Go for the bus. You're going to Ruislip today on the E7.
I'm heading that direction, yes.
Well done.
So I don't think people are just interested anymore, man. It's just like...
But everyone's bought it, though, haven't they?
Have they, really?
I mean, I bought it twice.
No, you haven't.
No, that's because I keep destroying them. Do you know something? I've had enough of this book. I'm sick of it. Harry wants us to digest his opinions, so I'm going to digest it right now. You are both tied on 8,568 points. Both tied. So now it's down to the final question. Right. To Lacey and to Ben. But it's a corker. Pornhub has banned Sam Smith's new music video, saying it doesn't meet its community standards.
I genuinely don't know if that's true or false. It's very hard because it was an awful video.
And as of this week, he's now a Grammy winner.
He's a Grammy winner.
Congratulations.
But I don't think he would have got that without all of this. Because suddenly when Sam Smith became they, suddenly he had all this interest and media interest.
Look, I've got a postgraduate in English, right? I genuinely think it's he, she, it.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
is.
they, is it?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to say it did a music video about urine, but I mean, not they did. It's not plural.
I know, but if you were
Well, I mean,
Richard...
in Sam Smith's case, it's like the size of two people. Hypocrisy, walk hypocrisy.
But Richard Madley had to apologise live on TV for saying calling him he, and got put right by saying no, it's they, and he had to say sorry.
Pete, is the video your bag?
No, not really, because you know what? I actually found it quite boring. Because
what you do, because what goes on in Wigan is even more extreme than what takes place.
It must stay in Wigan.
Because my theory is though, is because like to be like that now is just so mainstream. Like it was deliberately provocative, so therefore it's not provocative in my opinion. It was like repackaged to sell back to people to generate the outrage, so he could win the Grammy.
I tell you what did make me laugh. When Piers Morgan basically said if he really wanted to be out there, he should have advocated Brexit.
I think that's the point.
Done something like right wing or something like that.
Look, other bands have done it. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Madonna, Lady Gaga. They've all been outrageous. I mean, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, he got banned, and then he went to #1. I think he's trying to do the same thing.
But he's
the
not
shock
being
value.
outrageous. David Bowie was doing this 60 years ago.
That's his point.
I remember Take That's first #1, where it was like Take That in Party, where they're all lying on the floor with jelly on their butts, and they had a woman mopping them.
So has Pornhub banned Sam Smith's new music video, saying that it's inappropriate due to its community standards? Is it true or false?
It was true.
I don't think it's filthy enough.
No? That's false.
I don't think it's filthy enough.
Ooh, I'll have to go with you, because I really can't decide. False.
False?
It is absolutely false, and congratulations! You win the house in Detroit. Congratulations! You now owe £20,000 in back taxes to the city of Detroit. It does need the money. It's been undeclined. Well done to Lacey and to Ben, but also thank you to Lizzie and to Pete. It's Pete's birthday, 43 today.
I'm not 43.
Happy birthday,
I'm 32.
No, in fact, he is absolutely only 32 years old. I will tell you, the paper rounds in Wigan are particularly distressing. So thank you to both of my teams. Congratulations to the winners. Enjoy your house in Detroit. Until next time, goodbye. Oh!